They called him the Prince of Darkness, a wild force who defined rock and terrified the mainstream. A kid from Birmingham with demons far darker than stage antics ever revealed. Now, after years of silence, Ozzy Osbourne has finally opened up about his health, and what he shares is heartbreaking. This isn't about music anymore. It's about survival. If you think you know Ozzy, think again. Stay tuned, because this is the side of him the world was never meant to see. Born in 1948 into poverty, Ozzy never fit the mold. He struggled with undiagnosed dyslexia, got bullied at school, and had little hope for the future. But everything changed the day he heard "She Loves You" by the Beatles. That single moment lit a spark, and that spark became a fire that refused to die, no matter how many times life tried to extinguish it. In his late teens, Ozzy found his tribe: Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward. Together, they formed a band that would birth an entire genre. They started as Earth, but soon transformed into something darker: Black Sabbath. When their self-titled debut dropped in 1970, critics didn't know what to make of it. It was loud, heavy, doom-laden. But to a generation searching for something real, it hit like a hammer. Ozzy's eerie, unpolished voice became the sound of rebellion. Black Sabbath didn't follow the rules, they made their own. Songs like Paranoid, War Pigs, and Iron Man weren't just music. They were war cries. While Led Zeppelin was hailed as refined, artistic rock royalty, Black Sabbath was labeled raw, dangerous, even demonic. The press treated Ozzy as a chaotic mess compared to Jimmy Page's genius precision. But Ozzy didn't care. He wasn't trying to be perfect. He was trying to be heard. Still, fame brought chaos, and chaos brought demons. As Black Sabbath soared, Ozzy's addiction grew. Drugs and alcohol became his armor. But that armor had cracks. In 1979, those cracks became impossible to ignore. He was fired from the band he helped create. For most, that would have been the end, but not for Ozzy. With Sharon, his future wife and eventual manager, by his side, Ozzy launched a solo career that stunned the world. His debut album, Blizzard of Oz, introduced Crazy Train and Mr. Crowley, songs that became instant classics. With a new band and the electric genius of guitarist Randy Rhoads, Ozzy was reborn. But the chaos didn't stay away for long. In 1982, Randy Rhoads died in a tragic plane crash. Ozzy was shattered. He spiraled deeper into addiction. Arrests, breakdowns, hospitalizations. He became rock's most unpredictable figure. Yet the music kept coming, and the fans never left. Sharon held the empire together. She wasn't just a partner, she was his anchor. She got him into rehab, pushed him back on stage, and kept his name alive even when he was lost to the world. Through the 80s and 90s, Ozzy refused to fade. No More Tears became another iconic record. MTV gave him new life. And then came The Osbournes, a chaotic, hilarious reality TV show that made him a household name all over again. But what the cameras showed as funny, Ozzy stumbling, mumbling, confused, had a darker truth. His health was deteriorating. He fell more often. His hands trembled. Something was wrong. In 2019, the silence broke. After suffering a serious fall, Ozzy revealed he was battling Parkinson's disease. The Prince of Darkness, the man who screamed louder than anyone, was finally being silenced by something he couldn't fight with fists or fame. Still, he kept going. He recorded. He joked. He told fans he wasn't done. But the shows became fewer, the public appearances rarer. And behind the scenes, the battle raged on. Parkinson's, spinal injuries, surgeries, relapses. His body was failing. and the man who once commanded stadiums could barely walk unaided. Yet his spirit refused to quit. Then, in 2025, Ozzy broke his silence for real. He appeared on camera, not with spectacle, but sincerity. Frail, quiet, reflective. Surrounded by gold records, family photos, and medical machines, he shared what fans feared but needed to hear. He was tired. He was hurting. He couldn't keep going like before. But he had one last wish. One final show. Not a farewell tour. Just one night. One goodbye. Not for himself, but for the fans. And now, it's happening. July 5th, 2025. Back to the beginning. A once-in-a-lifetime concert in Birmingham, England. Black Sabbath's original lineup, Ozzy, Tony Iommi, Geezer Butler, and Bill Ward, reunited for the first time in 2 decades. Joining them are rock titans, Metallica, Pantera, Slayer, Alice in Chains, and more. The stage is set. The legend returns. But Ozzy's story isn't just about fame and farewell. It's also about rivalry, redemption, and resurrection. For years, a silent tension existed between Ozzy Osbourne and Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin. When Ronnie James Dio took his place, Ozzy felt erased. A theatrical singer had taken what he believed was his alone. Then came Bruce Dickinson of Iron Maiden, who mocked Ozzy as more media than music. Sharon hit back. Ozzy stayed silent, but the message was clear. He'd fight anyone who questioned his legacy. Still, for all his feuds, Ozzy's deepest wounds were personal. His marriage to Sharon was a war zone of love and destruction. Violence, affairs, scandals. In 1989, during a drug-fueled rage, Ozzy tried to kill her. She stayed. Not out of weakness, but belief. Belief that the man she loved could still be saved. Their children, Kelly and Jack, grew up in madness. Public life, private chaos, addiction, rehab, and a father whose shadow was both protective and destructive. Ozzy Osbourne didn't just break himself, he broke hearts. He broke the bonds with his family and faced demons far darker than any stage antics could reveal. Yet through every fall, every setback, every moment of darkness, Ozzy kept coming back. Because quitting isn't in his nature. Fading away isn't an option. All he knows is how to scream, how to rise from the ashes, how to be. Now, as the final curtain draws near, the world watches with bated breath. Questions hang in the air. Will he make it through this last show? Will his iconic voice still carry the power it once did? Will the legend we all know and revere go out with a roar that shakes the foundations of rock? Or a whisper that fades into silence? What's undeniable is this. Ozzy Osbourne is a man who has defied death time and time again. He's outlived rivals, survived public scrutiny, battled illness, and endured personal tragedies that would break anyone else. Yet here he stands, one last time, ready to face the stage with the same fierce spirit that made him the Prince of Darkness. This final tour isn't about flawless performances or perfect notes. It's about closure. It's about looking the devil in the eye and declaring, "I'm still here." And in a gesture that echoes his complex spirit, all profits from this farewell will support Parkinson's research and children's hospitals. Because even in pain and struggle, Ozzy wants to give something back. When the lights finally dim and he walks off stage for the last time, it won't just be the end of a concert. It will mark the end of an era, a chapter in rock history that defined generations. So now we ask you, is Ozzy Osbourne simply a lucky survivor of chaos, or one of the greatest legends rock music has ever seen? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If his journey has touched you, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This is more than music. It's a legacy. This is the final scream. The Prince of Darkness is going home. If you found this story about Ozzy Osbourne powerful and eye-opening, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exclusive insights. Stay connected for the stories the world was never meant to see. Thanks for watching.